Hi, good evening. In this video, we are discussing about the RTI MCQs. Okay, this is the most important. Okay, first question: A citizen requests information from a public authority. The information concerns a third party and is treated as confidential. What is the appropriate action? First one: reject the application automatically, disclose it automatically, follow the procedure relating third party information, transfer the application to Supreme Court. Already here third party discussion आ गया. Therefore the option is third party. C is the correct option. Next, a PIO receives an RT application that actually concerns another public authority. What should PIO generally do? Options: rejected, transform application to the concerned public authority, ask the application to fresh RTA, ignore it. What is the answer? Second option is the correct option. Transfer the application to the concerned public authority. The RTA Act, the normal, the time limit, it's clear, 30 days. C is the correct option. Okay. Life of liberty. Already we are read about these questions. 2 days only. 2 days. That is equal to 48 hours. Why? Because life of liberty. Okay. 48 hours. B is the correct option. Next. An application is dissatisfied with the decision of the PIO. The first appeal is generally made to CIC, Central Information Commission, High Court, First Appeal Authority, Supreme Court. What is the answer? C, First Appeal Authority is the answer. Okay. Which body hears second appeals under the RTA Act matters falling within its jurisdiction? Options: UPSC, Information Commission, Election Commission, CIG. B is the correct option. Information Commission is the correct option. A PIO deliberately refuses to receive an RTA application. Which provision is particularly relevant to penalty? Already in the morning section we discussed a short trick. CAP, complaint, C for complaint, and A for appeal, and P for penalty. 18th, 19th, 20. Okay. Here there is no complaint, there is no appeal, there is discussing about the penalty. This is the penalty. Therefore, section 20 is the correct answer. Section 20 is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. Therefore, C is the correct option. Okay, next. The maximum penalty that may be imposed a PIO, 25,000. Okay, already we discussed about these points. B is the correct option. Next, section 4. Which section deal the obligation of public authorities to maintain and disclose certain information proactively? Section 4, answer. A option is the correct option. Section 6, already given answer here. Which section deals the manner of making request for information? Okay. Therefore, here already we discussed about already I am given warning short trick. RDO 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. R means right to information. D means disclose, and O means officer, and A means apply or request, and 7 means disposal plus time. E means exemptions. Therefore, this is the short trick. RDO 8. Okay. Now I am discussing about the request. Request for information. Where is the request? Apply. 6th. Therefore, option B is the correct option. Option B is the correct option. Here 7 for the disposal and time. What is the 19? 19 for the cap. CAP. 18, 19. 19 for the appeal. 19 for the appeal. What is the 4? 4 is the disclose. Okay. Here our answer is request for information. Therefore, section 6 is the correct option. Next question. A PIO provides information after the statutory time limit without any valid justification. The applicant argues that the information should be provided free of cost. Which principle is the most relevant? Answers. Information can never be free. Delay beyond the prescribed period can affect by fee payable. Application must always pay double fee. Information automatically becomes confidential. What is the answer? What is the answer? B. Delay beyond the prescribed period can affect the fee payable. Next, an applicant asked PIO, why did the department take decision? The existent record do not contain any explaining beyond the recorded documents. What should the PIO generally do? Create a new explanation? Wrong. Give a personal opinion? Wrong. Reject every RT asking why? Wrong. Therefore, the answer is provide information available on record. This is the correct option. C is the correct answer. Next question. Which is the following not a generally required from an RT applicant? Seeking information, paying described fee where applicable, giving reasons for seeking information, providing sufficient particulars to be identify the information. C is the correct option. Giving reasons for seeking information. Next one. An applicant seeks information that falls under the exemption. Section 8. What should be PIO considered before simply denying the entire document? Okay. Here they are asking before simply denying the entire document. Exemption. Okay. Whether severability permits disclosure of the non-exemption part. This is the correct option. We don't discuss about this. Direct the answer is, this is the answer. Okay. Whether severability permits disclosure of the non-exemption part. Already we discussed about the severability. Next, section 10. The concept of the severability under RTI Act primarily means destroying confidential records. Wrong. Separating exempt information from information that can be disclosed. This is the right option. Okay. This is the right option. B. Next. Severability means remove the exempt part minus disclose the legally disclosed part. Which section deals the exemptions? Which section deals the exemptions? Already we discussed about the RDO and 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. E for the exemptions. Section 8 is the correct option. Yes. A public authority has information that can be disclosed after removing a portion protected by an exemption. Which principles support disclosure of the remaining portion? Severability, natural justice, delegated legislation, res judicata. Here we know the only severability. This is the correct option. A is the correct option. Next, a person files an RT application. A person files an RT applications without mentioning the reason for seeking information. The PIO should reject because no reason. It's wrong. Ask the applicant to explain personal interest. Wrong. Process it subject to the requests of the RT Act. Is right answer. Right answer. C is the correct option. When you are reading the question, you can observe which is the best description of the objective of the RT Act. To increasing departmental secrecy, to promote transparency, and to promote transparency and accountability. This is the correct option. Okay. I think not confirmed. I think it's confirmed. B is the correct option. A principal receives an RT application seeking copies of an attendance records. Some portions contains information that may exempt, already given exempt, while other portions are disclosable. What is the best approach? Read the entire application. Wrong. Provide everything without exemption. Wrong. Examine application exemptions and consider severability. This is the correct answer. Okay. What is the severability section? Anyone? You can write on the comment box. What is the severability section? Okay. Next, the right to information is available to every person in the world, citizens in India, only government employees, only taxpayers. What is the answer? What is the answer? Citizens of India is the correct answer. Okay, B. Next, section 5. Under section 5, a public authority is required to designate only APIOs, PIOs, and where required APIOs, only appropriate authorities, vigilance officers. B is the correct option. Officers. This is the correct option. The PIO is primarily reasonable for conducting elections. Wrong. Receiving and processing RTI requests. 100% is right. B is the correct option. B is the correct option. An RTI application can be generally made. Application. Orally. Wrong. Only through a lawyer. Wrong. In writing or through electronic means. C is the correct option. An applicant is generally not required to state the information sought, contact details necessary for communication, the reason for seeking information, relevant particulars identify the information. What is the answer? C. The reason for seeking information is the correct option. Time limit. The normal period for the responding to an RTA request. What is the answer? 15 days, 20 days, 30 days, 6 days. What is the answer? 30 days is the correct answer. C. APIO. Where an application is submitted to APIO, the prescribed response period is extended by how many days? 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, 15 days. What is the answer? 5 days is the correct option. B. B is the correct option. B is the correct answer. Life and liberty. Life and liberty. If the request information concerns the life or liberty of a person, the information should ordinarily be provided within how many days? 2 days or 48 hours. B. Second option is the correct answer. Next, section 7 primarily deals with, what is the answer? Already I am discussed about the RDO 8. RDO 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. T. Time and disposal. Time limit and disposal. Therefore, disposal of request. B is the correct option. Okay. You can, okay. What is the exemption sections? What is the exempt section? This is the section 8. Okay. Disposable, section 7. What is the penalties? Remember CAP 20. Third party information 11. Okay. Next. I think this answer is the B. Next. A PIO rejects RTI request. The response should be similarly simply pay rejected. Wrong. Give reason for rejection and relevant appeal details. Right. Be given orally. This is the B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Next. Section 8 primarily deals with section 8 exemptions and disclose. This is the right answer. Okay. B is the correct option. Next. Information affecting the sovereignty and integrity of India may fall under section 4, section 6, section 8, section 19. Section 8. Okay. Section 8. Next. Information expressly forbidden from publication by court may be automatically disclosed, exempt and disclosed, deleted by the PO, sent by a parliament. What is the answer? Exempt from disclosure. B is the correct option. Section next. Information including trade secrets or intellectual property may be exempted where disclosure always benefit of the applicant, harm the competitive position of third party, increase transparency, reduce paperwork. Here first of all read question again. Information including trade secrets, intellectual property means it's harm the competitive position of the third party. Therefore B is the correct option. B is the correct option. Next, personal information may be exempt when disclosure has no relationship to public activity or interest or would cause unwanted invasion of privacy subject to the act. It is requested by citizen. It is more than 1 year old. It is available in a file. What is the answer? Personal information may exempt. What is the option? Maybe 100% is. What is the answer? A is the correct option. Clear. Section 10 is known for. What is the section 10? Severability. Severability. What is the 18? Appeals. 18. Severability. 10. Penalty. CAP. Cap. 20. PAO appointment. These are officers. 5. Okay. Therefore, severability is the 10. This is the answer. B. A document contains 10 pages. Okay. Pages 1 to 7 are disclosed, while pages 8 to 10 contains exempt information. What should the POA consider? इसका meaning total 10 pages, 8 to 1 to 10 pages, 8, 9, 10 pages are most important. It is the exempt information. What they can do? Reject the complete document, automatically wrong. Disclose the non-exempt portion after applying the severability. This is the correct option. Therefore, B is the correct option. B is the correct option. Next, severability means dividing an RT application among departments. Wrong. Separating exempt information from information that can be legally disclosed. B is the correct option. Section 11 primarily third party. Section 11 third party information. Okay. Next, 40 question. If information relates to third party and has been treated as confidential, then the PIO may need to ignore the third party, follow the prescribed third party consultation procedure, automatically disclose. Is wrong. Automatically destroy. ये दोनों wrong. Okay. ये दोनों wrong. Therefore, what is the answer? Follow the prescribed third party consultation procedure. Therefore, B is the correct option. Okay. Next, third party procedure is particularly relevant to the information concerns of and supplied by third party and it is treated as a confidential. This is the correct option. A is the correct option. The first appeal is generally filed for CIC, First Appeal Authority, Supreme Court, District Magistrate. Therefore, this is the answer. First Appeal Authority. First Appeal Authority. B is the correct option. The second appeal under the RTI Act lies to IC, High Court, UPSC, CAG. These three wrong. Therefore, Information Commission IC is the right answer. Therefore, A is the correct option. First appeal is generally filled within how many days? 15, 30, 60, 90. 30 days is the correct option. B is the correct option. Second appeal, 90 days. 90 days. D is the correct option. D is the correct option. 46 is the most important. But the burden of providing that the denial of a request was justified lies on. What is meant by burden? What is meant by burden of proof? Once you check the definition. What is meant by burden of proof? When the Information Commission considers imposing a penalty of a POO. Suppose a penalty of a POO, the PIO has to prove acted reasonably and diligently. Okay, this is called the burden of proof. Therefore, it's completely to the only PIO. Okay, Public Information Officer. Okay. What is the mean by burden proof? One check. When the Information Commission considers imposing a penalty on a PIO, the PIO has to prove. Okay. This is the answer. Next question. Therefore, second option is the correct option. Next, penalty under section 20 may be imposed to application, PIO, every government employee, first appeal authority. What is the section? CAP, 18, 19, 20 section penalty. How much penalty? Penalty PIO, Public Information Officer. B is the correct option. And the penalty is how much? 250 rupees per day and 25,000 maximum. Okay. Okay. Penalty under section 20. How much? Maximum 25,000. Calculation. A PIO has unjustifiably delayed information for 120 days. The maximum statutory penalty is, what is the penalty? Maximum 25,000. For 1 day 250 rupees. What is the answer? B is the correct option. A teacher submits an RT application asking the principal to explain why a particular student received low marks. The record contains only the marks awarded and evaluation records with no separate explanation. What should the PIO primarily provide? What should be PIO? PIO primarily provide a newly created explanation, a person opinion of the principal, existing records subject to the application, no information. What is the answer? Clear. Existing records subject to the exemptions. C is the correct option. Next, a citizen asks a PIO take action against a teacher through an RT application. What is the correct approach? RT automatically requests disciplinary action. Wrong. RT is primarily mechanism for accessing information, not directing administrative action. 100% is B. A PIO receives an application containing 10 questions, but some questions seeks records while others ask for opinions. What is the best approach? Reject the entire application, provide availing information records and deals appropriately with requests that seeks opinion or creation of information. Answer all questions based on person. B is the correct option. Next, an application requests a copy of an existing government order. The PIO says, I don't think you need it. The response is correct, incorrect, because the applicant need not establish a personal reason of seeking information. B is the correct option. Why? Because incorrect. Because the applicant need not establish a person's reasons of seeking information. An RT applicant asks for information that is already available on the public authority website. What should the PIO consider? The request automatically becomes valid, appropriate communication of where the information is available, destruction of the records, referral to the police. B is the correct option. Appropriate communication of where the information is available. Next, severability. A PIO believes that the disclosure of a part of a document is exempt, but the remaining portion is not. What is the correct principle? Entire document must always be withheld. Severability should be considered. Entire document must be always disclosed. Applicant must be file a new RTA. It's clear. Severability should be considered. Next. An applicant receives no response with the prescribed period. This situation is generally treated as deemed refusal, automatic approval of the every request document, withdrawal of application, criminal conviction of PIO. Deemed refusal. Next. A PIO knowingly refused to provide information without lawful justification, which consequence may arise. Section 20 penalty proceedings, automatic dismissal from service, imprisonment in every case, no consequences. Therefore, A is the correct option. Okay. Next, in application, an applicant is unhappy with the PIO's decision. The applicant should ordinarily first use first appeal, Supreme Court, Election Commission, CAG. Therefore, these three are wrong. First appeal is the correct option. Okay. Next, 60. A principal receives an RT application requesting attendance records, discipline records, and personal details of several teachers. Some information is official and some may involve privacy concerns. What is the best administrative approach? Reject everything wrong, disclose everything wrong, examine each category under the RT Act, apply relevant exemptions, consider third party procedure where applicable, and apply severability where applicable. This is the right answer. Okay. Thank you very much.